Okay, I'm standing here with Dag Forsén, and you are working with games to keep your brain working.
Actually, I'm part of the newly opened digital health lab at SICS, as you know, in Norrköping, and we are also responsible for running the network, Hälsans nya verktyg, or New Tools for Health. And as part of that project, we have been supporting an app developer, and we have sort of encouraged them to start developing apps for elderly. And we're showing the results of that project here today.
Yeah,
We have with us today Peter Lindgren, who's the founder and the CEO of this company, VCARC. And he can give you a quick look at the application. Yeah, please. Right, Peter.
Hello.
Hi.
Who are you?
I work at a company called VCARC, and we're an app studio, and we're working together with those guys on digital health projects. And as part of that, we have done some research in the area of serious gaming. And this is actually a result from the research that we've done. There's not too much research in the area of modern touchpad ICT, so to speak, for in the area of old people. So, yeah.
Would you like to show us something?
Yeah, for sure. I just have to. Maybe you want to cut it out. I don't know.
We're live, so.
Oh, all right. Well, let's see. I lose internet all the time, and it's a social mobile game. So, and I have here. Let's see if I can make. Yeah, it seems to be working. This is replay. This is Anna and Bertil. They are playing together, and they're trying to figure out which is the word. And obviously, this was Pinal. We skip this. So. And this is a game. It's really easy. It's a word game. It's a guess the word game. You have 5 letters, and the first one is A. It's green. And there are 9,000 words, so it's really hard. And I guess here. It means breathe in Swedish, and it's actually not the. So, and then the guess goes back to Bertil, who is the guy who's playing, and he get a replay of Anna and what she was guessing.
So one of the major drivers here is to stimulate social contact between elderly, or this could be a young person, or this could be an old person, or both. So it doesn't really matter. So this is very much about stimulating social interaction.
It's kind of crosswords 2.0.
Yeah, correct.
Something like
Yeah.
Yeah. And here we have also I have clues here which I can earn if I play a lot. And if I press, this is a power. If I press this, it's going to remove all the letters that are not part of it. So it's going to be very hard to earn. So now I have all these letters, and I can probably guess what the word is. I'll let you figure it out. It's a very common Swedish word, probably. I think it is. I have no idea, but I think it is. And this is something that we learned also.
Oh yeah.
The old people that we tried this on 80 plus, they didn't really recognize this as a keyboard. It's the first time ever they use a tablet. So they just like, oh, there's an N there. I need it there. Okay, so it just copies, and I don't want to have that there. So okay, so I drag that there. Or I just press, so they can do multiple, and then I guess.
So
Success.
yeah. So this is also what we have in Norrköping, where is a living lab with 80 plus people. So it's we have around 500 people in this living lab, and I think there are around 70 or so that have tablets. And we've been using them as a part of the project from the very beginning, in this participatory design approach. That maybe you explain that. So we have them from the very beginning. It started with you actually studying a sort of a computer gaming group they had with 80 plus, right? Or the people from like 80 to 100. And do you sort of studied them? You know what?
We went to this place and we played games with them because they meet the computer club. It's actually more a console gaming club, so that's pretty cool. If you're 65 plus, you meet every Monday and play games. So we went there and played with them, and later when we wanted to see more, we used this test environment, and there are 80 plus people, so it's kind of an opening to innovation thingy. But we went there with our prototypes and they've never used a tablet, and we said, now we're going to complete this, and they're like, what? I never used one. How do I do that? And we just like, yeah, exactly. How do you do that? So do this, and it was a great success. It's just a barrier. They're kind of afraid of new technology, but they are since touch-based interfaces are direct, they feel comfortable. This becomes really intuitive, and I mean we learned stuff like, I thought one of the hardest thing that if you have never used a computer or a tablet, how can you understand Facebook, Twitter? That's going to be like mumbo jumbo. What can that be? That was one of the things that I found really easy, because we had to put in a camera there, and we asked them what does the camera do, and it's like, take pictures. What? So when you press it, what does it do? It takes a picture. Yeah. So it's really easy for them to understand that an old school that would take a picture so I can share. And it's like, wow. While other things were totally impossible for them to do, like dragging something on the screen, like don't ever try to get all people to do that. It's not going to work.
One takeaway was also that they're very different, you know. People think that, you know, the older people, they're like a stereotype, but they're very different. And you said that some people, didn't like the idea of being stressed, being in a hurry. And somebody says, you know, let's put some really, you know, tough time limits into the game to make it even harder. And I think the beauty of this is also that if you put a young person on one side and an older person here, almost always the older person will win, you know, because it's a word game. You acquire words. I mean, it's a lifelong learning experience to gather your vocabulary. And that's also very important for the elderly to feel that they're good at something. And when I interviewed one of our mascots, which you tested the application on, a 103-year-old, and I asked her, Dagny, what's the biggest problems when it comes to technology and elderly people, you know? And she said immediately, it's you young ones, you think we're useless. It's all about confidence. And we are actually capable, even we are wrinkled, we're capable. And that was also, it's a really fantastic experience to work with these, you know, this older audience. And that's one of the main target groups for Digital Health Lab, because we're dealing both with, of course, trying to keep people well and healthy, but also deal with different kinds of illness and sickness and chronic diseases. And as you know, the prevalence of chronic diseases, there's a sharp incline when you go beyond or above 80 years old. But it's a very exciting group to work with.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Good luck.